Fam, welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. I'm Miki Carrico, and on my channel I love to talk about luxury skincare, beauty, and sometimes small luxury goods. And today I thought I would do a get ready with me featuring some PR, some gifts that I received from Florasis. It is a luxury beauty brand based in China, and they sent me some products for me to try out. So if that interests you, then keep watching. But before we continue, remember to subscribe, click all for notification of when my videos come up online. Commenting and liking below really helps out engagement on my channel. And do you know a lot of you actually watching aren't subscribed to my channel? So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, it helps me out if you subscribe. Would appreciate the love from you so much and having you join the MikiCarrBeauty fam. And with that out of the way, let's begin. So how is everyone doing? We are close to Christmas. We are in Hanukkah season, and I have my beauty Christmas tree up. I'm trying to get these lights back here. I usually have lights blinking in the background, but I don't know about you beauty fam, but this year flew by and I barely got my decorations in my house up, and finally did that. And I had intentions on doing more holiday type videos, and then life happened. So I'm just trying to be present with my family and then trying to do all of the holiday shopping and prep. We are going to be hosting family from out of town during the holidays for about, let's see, how many people are coming in town? 6 people. So 2 families and my sister are coming. So I'm really excited. So we're like prepping the house, doing all the things on top of like cleaning and then, you know, Christmas shopping and Christmas present shopping. And oh yeah, I work full time. This is not my YouTube gig of full time. I actually work outside the home. So on top of that, it's been crazy busy. So whenever I get a chance to film and be with y'all, I call it a good day. So thanks for your patience. I know I haven't uploaded a whole bunch to this end of the year, but to be honest, I actually been really trying to reevaluate what is going to come in next year. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is a Florasis video. So I'll put up the unboxing that I did of these products, and I'm going to show them to you now because they've been sitting here in my like to film section, but they sent me some wonderful products, and I'm going to open this box. So they included this beautiful, I think it's gardenia flower. I'll put the type of flower. It's obviously synthetic, but the way you use it, I looked it up. This is supposed to be attached to their cleansing oil. Their PR person sent me some samples of skincare, which I've actually used. And it's so beautiful. Look at this packaging. Florasis really does it with the packaging. So this is the cleansing oil, this beautiful bottle. And this is supposed to be clipped on. I think this is supposed to be, yes, this is the stopper. And it's supposed to be like clipped on. How cute is that, everyone? It's like the stopper so it doesn't push down. It has a beautiful smell. And what I think I'm going to do is actually not keep it on this clip because I don't want it, you know, when I don't know about you beauty fan, but when I'm cleaning my face, it's kind of really messy and I don't want to ruin this beautiful thing. So I put it on my holder. So I just put it here because I don't want it to get dirty with the cleansing oil. So I do have to share that I've actually used the cleansing oil before, just not this. They also sent me these travel packs, these blister packs, which I love. And I think this is such a brilliant idea because I've often, when I've traveled, I don't want to bring my whole thing for cleansing oil. So they have these like individualized blister packs that you can just take a couple of these depending on how many days you're going to be traveling. One of these is too much for one washing. So I would say one of these is probably enough for 2 washes, but then you kind of have to be mindful that once you open the blister pack, it could spill out. One of these is actually probably, at least for me, good for 2 uses. I'm going to put this cleansing oil, this beautiful bottle, in my vanity cleansing area. I can say that it's a pretty good cleansing oil. I'm pretty picky about cleansing oils. My holy grail cleansing balm is really Pharmacy, and it just gets everything off my face because I do a lot of makeup, especially when I'm reviewing makeup for YouTube. But this does a pretty good job. I would say it probably, you might want to use a lot more of the cleansing oil when using this, more than I do. So I'm going to keep using it. What I was looking for the cleansing oil, that it doesn't have almond oil because I have allergies to that. So it doesn't have any of that. and it doesn't have a perfume smell, which I'm so grateful for because that would have been a deal breaker for me. It just smells like skincare, like there's no added perfume. So highly recommend you all trying that. So thank you, Florasis, for sending that. They had also sent me 3 products, and I'll show them today to you. Getting what these are because it's been sitting here for about a month and I just haven't had time to film. And I just do my best, beauty fam. I just have a, you know, a full-time job outside the home. I have, you know, kids, and I have I caregive my elderly parents, so I'm like caregiving both ways, and I, you know, I'm a working mom professional, so definitely busy, and this is something I do when I have free time. Here is this beautiful product, and this is called Florasis Flowery Makeup Relief Palette, and I don't know if it's showing up on here. Let me tilt it so you can see, like, when head on it's teal, but then when you tilt it, there's a sheen of purple. And their packages are stellar for Florasis. It has this beveled edge, such beautiful packaging. It is plastic, but it's like high quality plastic, and it feels luxurious because of the packaging. It's like a deep teal that has a bit of like a luster to it, and this beveled edging and gold inlay. So you open it like this, and that is the product. Now they do have a mirror which you can use, and I'm going to do a little ASMR moment here. There we go. And I will be using this mirror when I'm applying it. So I think when I saw this I was confused, but I think what I know, this is kind of like a face palette. So there is powder, there's a powder, there's a highlight, there's a bronzer or contour shade, and then a blush. So I think it's so beautiful. Eventually, as one uses this product, this beautiful embossing and decorations are going to go away. That's just kind of something to know, that, you know, I use makeup, you're supposed to use it. The decorations and the embossing will go away. And then I'll show you some swatches. This tends to be a little bit on the lighter side. I would say this is probably for someone who's like light medium. So I'm a medium tan, but I still could probably get away with it, but we'll see. We'll try that today. Okay, and they also sent a Florasis Gorgeous Peach Blossom Silk Powder. And the person who sent me this reached out to me and said this is supposed to be a translucent kind of finishing powder. Again, beautiful packaging. It's kind of like this holographic packaging. Plastic, but still beautiful. And it does come with a puff, a mirror, and then it's covered. And this is the product, a translucent powder. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch it for you to see. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Look at that. Yes, so it's not... Yes, we'll try to use that as a translucent finishing powder. I could see using that definitely under my eyes. I actually have haven't finished my makeup because I wanted to film this, and I just have foundation on, and what else do I have? Corrector. They sent me this beautiful eyeshadow palette. I just want to show you the packaging of this. Oh, so gorgeous. I'm definitely keeping the packaging because it's so gorgeous. On the package, it says this is the Phoenix Makeup Palette. And again, it has some beautiful embossing. As you can see, it says here, Eastern craftsmanship with 3D delicate engravings, reinventing the traditional Chinese engraving technique. The product is inspired by typical Chinese style folding screen and crafted with the patterns of all birds paying homage to the phoenix. More than a makeup palette, it's an artwork of Eastern engraving craftsmanship. Silky powder for wet and dry application. The micron-sized miniature engraving fine powder is silky soft, talc-free, and easy to blend without fallout. With water-soluble components, the powder is highly pigmented, especially applied with wet brush. And it says the floral essence nourish the skin, and the formula also contains skin-nourishing ingredients such as extracts of calendula and peony, which makes the powder feel smooth and silky on skin. Fantastic. So I definitely noticed these are definitely silky feeling, little fallout, and I'm really excited about this palette because I think the other ones were a little bit more neutral, whereas I like pops of color, especially this blue. And I've been reading more about talc in makeup products, so I'm trying to not have talc, and it's really hard. A lot of makeup has talc, but things like powder, I'm going to stop trying to buy powder that have talc. I want to see if this works as a under eye powder, so this product. So going into my airbrush brush by Wayne Goss, and it reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath under eye powder. It's this one, which it's light, but it's really translucent. So going into this Florasis, it's Gorgeous Peach Blossom Silk Powder, and using the mirror it comes with. Oh, not bad. It's really nice. Definitely smoothing. Ooh, I like it. Definitely brighten up my under eye area. It really does remind me of that Pat McGrath under eye powder. It's very translucent. So yeah, that looks really nice. I'm actually going to use it on all the rest of my face. I had not powdered down my face yet, so might as well go into this. That's really nice as a powder. And then I'm going to actually use it for my eye area. I did put some primer down already. Okay, so we'll see how that wears throughout the day. I don't want to put any more on because then why don't we move on to this beautiful makeup relief palette. Okay, so I'm really wanting to go into this shade down here. And it's written in Chinese characters, so I'm not sure what that is, but it's basically the bronzing shade. Taking my Wayne Goss Squirrel Hairbrush 02, so that means it'll be pretty light, but it is pretty powdery. And I want to see, again, just know I have some cream bronzer down, but I matted it down. I just want to see what this looks like. Nice. Let me know if you are doing for the holiday season, Beauty Fam. Are you done with your holiday shopping or not? And what are your plans for this holiday? Let me know. I'm just really excited. The greatest gift I'm going to have is just being with my family and just being with all what's going on in the world. Every day I'm just really grateful that I have shelter, I have safety in my health, of my family. I have, both my spouse and I are gainfully employed, and I'm just really just grateful. I'm not wanting things like this holiday season. When times like this happen in the world, I just gotta always remember, for me at least, just keeping it back to basics. Being grateful for what I have. Okay, that's beautiful. It's a really seamless powder. Sometimes with bronzers, you're going to see more of a defined line, but I think this went on really seamlessly. Beautiful. And that's why when I'm trying a new product, I try to grab a squirrel hair, because goat hair tends to be so impactful, and when I don't know how the product's going to act, so that's why I went in with squirrel hair. So I have a Face 2 brush by Sonia G, and I'm just honestly just grabbing whatever's clean in my brush pile. I'm going into this orange shade on top. It's pretty impactful, and we'll see how this looks on my face. So what I like to do is diffuse it a little bit just in case, because I don't want there to be patchiness, and where you lay your brush first is where it's most impactful. So let's try that. Ooh. Okay, it's going back in. Very natural looking. These powders are really nice. Definitely silky powders, and it seems pretty seamless. Can you see how subtle that is? Really lovely formula on powders. This powder is very silky smooth. So this one is the highlighter, the Azure Dragon, a shimmering satin pink champagne highlighter, a representative of spring and guardian of the wood element. The soft peach matte blush, vermilion bird, representative of summer and guardian of the fire element. Love that. Then there's the subtle beige highlighter, this one here, I think, representative of autumn and guardian of the metal element, the white tiger. And down here is the Black Tortoise, a soft, warm taupe contour, representative of winter and guardian of water element. I would have to say this is a really nice contour shade. It's not too warm and it's cool enough. I really, really like this contour shade. It says that you can use this both dry and wet, depending on the intensity that you want, and that you can use these on your eyes as well. Okay, so I'm going to continue and actually use this highlight so you can see, grabbing a Detail Pro brush by Sonia G. And there's a little bit of kickback, so I'm just gonna gently just kind of tap it here. I'm not a huge highlighter person, so just wanna go light on that. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so that's the highlight for that. Because there's a powder, I do want to use it. I know I used that translucent powder. I'm going to wipe off my Wayne Goss airbrush brush again and just kind of use this and see what this looks like in terms of blurring my pores, like in the front here, kind of buffing that out a little bit. Very nice. This is a very, very silky smooth formula and excellent, excellent formula. I have to say this is to me, it almost seems very on par with Pat McGrath, maybe even a little bit better because it's talc free. And there's some skincare ingredients. It doesn't have a smell, but it's very finely milled. And when you press it together, it feels very, very silky. So I love that. I love a good contour moment. And maybe it's because they're an Asian brand. This contour works for me. A lot of times, a lot of companies will say bronzer or contour, and they just don't work for me because of not just the shade, but the undertone. They nailed it for, at least for my needs. And you can't go wrong with this color. You know, I'm almost tempted. I might just wipe this off, but I want to show you how this can be used on your eyes. So I'm grabbing a Hakuhodo brush and going into that brown shade, which is the Black Tortoise shade that we're saying it could be used as contour. And I want to see how this looks up here. Nice so far. It's very neutral. Not warm leaning at all. And then I'm going in with this shade here, the Vermilion Bird, the soft peach color, and just putting that over the lid. It definitely shows up lighter on the eyes than in the pan. And then going in on this shade here as a shimmer shade and seeing how that looks over this. Oh, it makes it cute. It's like a peachy pink now. Let me see if I can build up some depth too on it. That's always what I'm looking for. So going back in that taupe shade with my mini booster. Yeah, it'll be hard to build up depth. This is a very light, kind of light ethereal palette, but in a pinch, I see what they're trying to do here. Like you can travel with this palette and then call it a day. Okay, so that is the Relief palette. It's a face palette. Love the contour shade here, and the powders are really, really silky. So I'm going to take this off and then we're going to move to the Eyeshadow Phoenix palette. So I think I'm going to start with that brown matte shade here just because I want to see how that works as kind of like a crease shade, and I'm having an ASMR moment. Beautiful, beautiful mirror. It's pretty large, so I'll be using that to do my makeup today. So I went to that brown color, the lightest brown there. That's nice. It's kind of like a lighter taupe color compared to that other palette. These seem softer, and maybe because they're really marketed as an eyeshadow palette. Again, there's a formula of of powders is really, really beautiful. Really like it. No kickback in the pan, no fallout. Ease of use, really, really easy. Nice. I want to build up some depth, so I'm taking a Sonia G mini booster and going into that deeper brown color. And I want to see if I can build up this crease here. Yes, it is working. Really, really nice color on that. We're going to go into that silver shade. There's a tiny bit of fallout. Okay, so that's what that's looking like. What I want to do is actually take that blue shade and use it like a liner. So I'm taking a Sonia G flat definer and I'm going into that blue shade. And I'm just going to start using that as a liner. And that's a really quick tip. If you have a palette and you don't usually use bold colors, and bold colors are not your thing, like purples and reds and greens and blues, just use that as a liner. That's a really quick tip, or a little smudge on the corner. You could even just do it as an accent. There you go. And actually I want to see what this looks like wet, so I'm grabbing some liquid I have here and then going into this blue and I wet it, so I want to see how much more pigmented it appears. Yeah, it's definitely more pigmented. Okay, and then I'm winging it out a little bit, that blue, and then I'm actually gonna run it down here. Fun. Okay, and then I want to try this one here. It's a really big shade. I'm kind of curious why they made it so big, but I want to run that down here. And I know it looks more orange in the pan, but it's like a yellow gold, if you can see. It's this color here. It's not really orange, it's presenting as a yellow gold. Orangey yellow gold. Okay, and that's what that eye looks like. Now I'm going to go to the other side. I used pretty much all those shades on this one eye. And I'm going into this matte shade here. It's like a purpley moment, purple mauve moment. Going back into that. My camera just shut off. And this camera that I film with, it was a Christmas present to myself of upgrading my YouTube filming kit. It's a Sony ZV-1, I can't remember. And I didn't want to get a mirrorless, or is it one of those cameras where you have to buy the lens? And it's kind of like this Sony is really pitched as a vlogging camera. Anyway, the reviews had warned me that it shuts off and overheats. And I was like, I can deal with it. It's fine. I have like 3 different batteries. We'll just replace it as it goes along. No, like a year later, it's kind of a pain. I know batteries are a thing with filming, but it literally just overheats and just shuts off, and it's a full battery. So yeah, I am not in the market to buy any more new filming equipment. Gosh, that's such a pretty color. It's this one here. It's like a purpley moment. This is definitely my colors. Obviously, you can see I'm wearing purple. And that went on really nicely. It's really hard to do purpley matte colors in an eyeshadow. I am going to wet this brush. This is a Fude brush because I want to go into this shade with a lot of impact. So I'm going into this to see how it builds. Okay, it's not like a shimmer shade. It almost acts almost like a topper shade. But it's flecks of like pinky lilac, which is cute because that's kind of, I'm wearing a lilac moment now. It's the lilac moment. It's not building up so well. I think these products are made for people who want a subtle color, not like super impactful. But it's pretty nonetheless. Okay, there's a little bit of fallout, but we're just dealing with that. And then I want to do the same thing I did with this shade. pulled this as an inner highlight moment here. It's like a peachy moment. Very, very light as well. It's not super impactful. It's a nice inner corner highlight. And then here too, it'll be nice. It's got a warmth to it. It's like a champagne. Really pretty. So I have two of these flat definers going in with this and going into that green shade. And I know what's going to happen already. It's pretty light, but I want to show you, like, again, if you have a pop of color and you're like, I normally would not go for that, what you can do with your shadows. Just using it as a liner or an accent. And it's this palette is very, very soft and ethereal, so it's not going to be like super impactful. I'm actually going to wet my brush and then use this as a paste, and I'm going into the palette, and I'm, you know, this is a palette. I just think about like painting and whatnot, so I'm kind of making a paste to see how it does. And it's more like a shimmer shade, so I don't know if it's going to line as impactfully as like that blue one. It's cute enough, but you can barely see it. So I would say don't be afraid of this palette. If you're like, oh man, those are not colors that are for me, it's actually really, really light and subtle in a pretty way. I almost see this as a spring type palette, if you will, spring or summer. It doesn't go on as well as the blue one in terms of like a liner, but as a fun accent color, it works really well. So because there's not much impact, I'm going in with, I'm wiping off my brush. I'm going into this deep shade here and then using that as a liner because it's still a little bit, because the brush is wet, it's gonna pull more of an impact. These are really nice shades dampened, and it's, again, it's pretty smooth. This is like a chocolatey mint moment here. So I'm back. I finished my eye look. I added some lipstick of a combination of Chanel's 196 et demi Mont and then Suku. I'll leave the videos of these reviews from this collection, and I tried on a lot of Chanel lipsticks, so I'll put those actually both above and below. And I put mascara on. I put mascara on my eyes, and obviously this is more smoky, so this look looks a lot bigger. So on this side, obviously it's this color story here. So really, really pretty. I love that blue moment and this pop of orange gold. I think it works really, really well. These are definitely Miki colors. I love these. On this side, this is more of like the soft ethereal part. Don't be afraid of this green color. It's, although there's like a pop to it, you know, the way I used it is as an accent for as liner. And I really love these two colors. So just going into that eye look. And what actually, I still have a work day, so actually what I'm going to do is probably take this off and then kind of have balance and put the this color story on, because I actually am running errands later today. I don't want to go out with two different eyes. Thank you, first of all, Florasis, for sending these wonderful products. I've been wanting to try this brand for quite a while. The packaging is stellar. Beautiful packaging, bar none. You know, I do luxury beauty mostly on this channel, and I have to say, like, with luxury beauty prices, a lot of times actually the packaging does not match the aesthetic of what you're thinking on these luxury house brands, especially the French ones like Chanel. The packaging is old and chintzy, like they haven't improved it. And I think about other luxury brands that are have packaging that's beautiful. Surratt has gorgeous packaging. I don't know if you can show here. It's blue and purple, sleek packaging. Surratt, I think about Prada Beauty. They came out with their line this year. I have their foundation here. Like, Prada has such sleek packaging. Love it. And they have like the triangle here for Prada, angular. I just think it's such a beautiful design and packaging. And the thought they put Florasis into their packaging based on Chinese figures and mythology, excellent that they do it on the embossing. Beautiful presentation, that there is meaning behind the palettes, and they are educating us about Chinese culture, which I really appreciate. So with the embossing, they're telling you the name of what is on the embossing and what it means. And the packaging itself is beautiful. Look at that. I just appreciate this. I think it's pretty much plastic, but just because it's plastic doesn't mean that the product is chintzy. This is the cover of the Phoenix palette. This is the packaging again of the translucent powder. So the packaging is just gorgeous. I have to say kudos to Florasis and incorporating Chinese culture into the aesthetics, the design, the naming. I just have never seen anything to this level. The closest I can think of is Dior. They do a lot of embossing on their products, but with Dior, even after 2 uses, the embossing goes away. For sure, Chanel, they did that tweeds collection where it looks like tweeds. It looks like bumps at the end of the day, really. The embossing goes away. This is like next level embossing. Even if I dig into this palette, a lot of that embossing is going to stay. Love this one even more just because they took care of the beveling and then having the gold inlay. Yes, it's plastic, but they utilize the materials so well. I just love that there's like almost like a duochrome shift. It's teal and then purple. So I just have to say, in terms of luxury packaging and then meeting that audience, 150%. Beautiful. And I just wish that luxury brands didn't sit on the laurels and actually kind of stepped up their game for packaging. So that said, packaging, beautiful, like 10 out of 10, maybe 12 out of 10. Now, the formula, I'm going to post how it wears throughout the day. So far, I can say, like, let's talk about the powder. It is a finishing powder, and it's supposed to be translucent. And like I said, I told you that after a couple of minutes, my face is going to get oily. And you can see my face is starting to get oily again. So I'm that type of person that has to bring oily blotting papers with them. But look how beautiful it is. I just put that in, again, to touch that up. So again, matte, but glowy, but not dry. Beautiful. It's a really beautiful powder. It doesn't have a scent, which I appreciate. So I'm definitely going to keep this on my top drawer, like next to my Charlotte Tilbury. I've panned the Charlotte Tilbury, but it has talc. And again, I've been looking for products when I'm going to start replacing my products. I'm going to pause if it has talc because it hasn't been proven, but there's been some warnings that talc can be mixed with asbestos. If you know more about that, let me know. I don't know too much about it. But if I can be cleaner in my beauty, I'm going to be. I really appreciate that this made without talc. Beautiful finishing powder. I'm a medium tan, so you can see it did kind of, lighten up a bit, but because I have oils on my face, it'll come through and then kind of balance each other out. And that's what happens a lot with powders. It might go on super matte or just like a hair too light. I don't think I'm getting gray cast. You tell me. I think it looks really nice and it played well. Like I have that highlighter and it didn't get rid of it. So beautiful powder. This makeup compact, beautiful. I'm excited to travel with it because it's kind of like an all-in-one. I am a person that does not like all-in-one face palettes, and I only have 2 other kind of all-in-one face palettes. I have the Natasha Denona one that came out last Christmas holiday season, a light and dark palette. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury. I really don't like the Charlotte Tilbury one. And that'll go in my like favorites and fails of video that I'm going to make probably at the end of the year or beginning of the year. And I still like that Natasha Denona one, but it's not anything I would reach for in terms of being simple. It's a bit too, it's like a all-in-one glam palette. I did a review of the light versus deep one last year, and I kept the deep one because I could get more bang for my buck. It is kind of neutral, but the eye look is really, really intense and smoky. And what I like about this Florasis one is that it's pretty basic. Like when I'm on vacation, I don't want a full beat, and I'm just looking for something that just brings color back into my face. And this is a really nice travel palette. It's pretty sturdy. I don't think I'd worry about this breaking. I'll travel with Natasha Denona again, and because her formula, everyone loves her eyeshadow formula, no shade on that, but because there's something about it that when I have traveled with Natasha Denona, the eyeshadow pans will break. And there's nothing worse than you spend so much money on a product and like the product falls out of the pan. And in fact, I stored some of my Natasha Denona palettes this way vertically instead of horizontal, and 2 of them fell out, and I wasn't even traveling. They're just in my makeup kit here. This is a beautiful, like, all-in-one travel well kind of palette. Okay, let's talk about the Phoenix palette. I think it's lovely. So fun. The colors. Again, this is this side and this side. You know, there's like 2 other palettes I think that they offer, but I obviously went for the bold one because these are my colors, but also I never know how when I'm trying new makeup, how the formula is going to translate on me because I'm tan, you know, tan skin tone. And so I think these really complement my skin tone and they're not too impactful. So in a good way, like, don't be scared about these colors. I think this is so, so pretty. I'm actually going to take this off after the video to balance out this look. But if you want more of a bold look, you can put that all over your eye or use it as eyeliner like I did. I'm really surprised and enjoying this Florasis collection. Thank you for sending these gifts and PR, Florasis, and I'll put links below, so if you're interested in purchasing those products, you can do so. And that's it, beauty fam. I would say definitely check them out. If I were to suggest, like, if you're in the market for a powder, I would definitely try this. There's something really beautiful about their powder formulation that I think is worth looking into. And the fact that it's talc free is something to be said, because a lot of talc free products in my experience so far don't necessarily live up to the performance we're looking for. So far what I can see, these are talc free products and the performance is stellar. So if you're looking for powder, check this out. I would say, like, I have to say, I know it sounds basic, but I kind of like this. If you're looking to try their product, it's simple, but it's basic in that I could see myself pulling from this pretty much every day, especially this color, this contour color. I think it's such a great travel friendly product. But if you're more of an eyeshadow person, go for it. I would say for sure this one. I'm the one who likes the fun palette. So yeah, I mean, if you want, here's the thing, like, yeah, it's bold, but you can also do really basic colors, like warm color stories, and just stick to these right here for a basic color story. So I hope that was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, beauty fam. Remember to subscribe and click on all so you get notification of when all my videos go up live. Commenting and liking below really helps out engagement on my channel, so subscribe. And as always, please be very kind to yourself and others and just be you. Have a great holiday season, beauty fam. Bye.